All right, are we ready? Yes. Maya? Okay. I'm here. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Look at you. You made it to another episode of We Did That Shit podcast, where we talk about who did some shit, what we learned from shit, and how we got through some shit.
I'm Maya.
And I'm Bibbi. Podcast family, we appreciate you, and we hope your week was the shit. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you enjoy our company, please subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at We Did That Shit.
Hey, girl.
Hey!
I'm back.
Suntan glowing.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, woo.
And the bad thing about it is the tan will be gone before I know it because it's winter here.
I know. And your tans kind of go away fast. Mine stay a little longer.
And not in the summer. My tan stays a long time.
Because it's summer. But
yeah, because you're still getting sun and your skin is exposed.
Yeah, but if I go away for my birthday, my tan lasts until like March, April, till the sun come back out.
Well, aren't you lucky?
No, because I ain't going no fucking where. Anyway, I just want to say red was really y'all's color.
Oh, thank you. I thought so too.
So nice. Oh my gosh, they look beautiful.
Thank you. I thought so too. I was so glad that we picked red, especially for my big birthday. Because I had been wanting to do red for a couple of years, but we just, picked every color in the rainbow but red. Mm-hmm. So for the big birthday, we picked the red and it really turned. Let me tell you something. 12 Kyle, you was on to something when you said that men respond to red in that show that you did. Because when I tell you that heads was turning when we had that red on, because, we started out earlier, we had the red bathing suits on,
right,
taking pictures. They already thought we was somebody because we stayed in like the adult portion of the resort. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, it was couples, mm-hmm. And then us. Right. And so we had butler service at the resort. So, they would come wherever you were, bring you anything you wanted and all like that. And so they already thought that we were somebody. And every time we walked by somebody, I was like, celebrities, because they were staring at us so damn bad. So I just kept coming out, celebrities. So we were taking pictures and everything on the beach. We did a photo shoot. Mm-hmm. They really thought we were somebody. Then that evening when we had them red dresses on, all the damn men, I'm talking about men that was there with their women, turning around at dinner, like turning their chair around at the damn restaurants talking to us. I'm looking at these men like, you supposed to be on a romantic dinner with your woman. Y'all on vacation. You turned around talking to us, screaming across the resort like, oh, you look beautiful. That red, honey, I tell you, I'm putting more red in my damn, I feel like I only got 2 red shirts, but after that, red is about to be my new favorite color.
I'm on Nordstroms.com as you speak.
Right.
Oh, I need red in my life. Yeah, but the pictures are beautiful. I said, oh, that red is really doing it for them. It was really nice.
Thank you.
Glad you're back safe.
Thank you.
Yeah, because doing that podcast by myself was not what it was hitting for.
Oh, you ain't have a good time with that one?
I did. It was just really weird because you weren't here.
You're right. I know. I felt the same way when I had to do the show by myself. It almost feels like you're talking to yourself. But then, like I said on the show, I talk to myself. So I just was like, well, you're just doing what you regularly do.
I talk to myself too, but I was just like, where's she at?
Right, you don't have that other person chiming in.
I don't think I really ever thought about it, but I wouldn't want to do a podcast by myself. Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't do one without you. I wouldn't do it with another person either, but I certainly wouldn't want to do one by myself. So even if I wanted to do something or something that I'm really interested in or whatever, you would have to give your comments on the shit, because I was like not feeling that at all.
Well, you did a good job. And thanks
Thanks.
for holding down the fort while I was away. I mean, other than doing the podcast by yourself, how was your week?
School started.
Oh.
That's all I'm exactly.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And you know what? I mean, but I feel progressive. My little place is coming together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's kind of nice. And slowly but surely, I'm getting it together. And somebody was like, "You got a TV in there?" I was like, "Mm-mm, I don't want none of the comforts of home like that. Like I don't want nobody to come over and feel comfortable." It's
right.
That's about.
Like, it's time for you to go. It's nothing to watch, nothing to do, it's nothing to see.
Yeah.
Well,
So
good for you. Good luck in school and everything for the semester.
So who did some shit this week?
Well, we talked about that rape that happened at the nursing home in Phoenix, Arizona, when lady was impregnated and gave birth. She was a vegetable for 14 years, I said.
Right.
Well, they caught the nurse, and I use the word nurse very loosely. They caught the nurse
he had a
who
license, allegedly.
Impregnated the woman. And when I tell you, when that picture released, I said, you ain't supposed to stereotype people. You ain't supposed to judge a book by its cover. But I'm judging that nursing home and the hiring officer, and I'm judging them. That man looked like a damn stone cold nut. You ain't even supposed to use the word nut. That's offensive. But he looked like a damn nut. And clearly he was a nut.
Maya, when I saw that picture, I'm like, I was just staring at the picture like,
yeah, what?
Exactly.
Who hired him?
He looked crazy as hell. And I still feel like the director that quit and left real fast, you cannot, in good conscience, have somebody like, you don't want to pass judgment, but he looks crazy.
You don't want to pass judgment, but if what did I tell you when I saw that picture? I said, at first thing I thought was, he can't be a damn nurse, like with a license that passed the test, because it's no amount of education or anything, and no, you're not supposed to judge people. There's no amount of anything, a license, credential, anything that would have had him sitting across from me and him asking questions, and I'm like, oh yeah, you're hired. No, hell no. And obviously something was going on with the man if he raped a patient that was at the nursing home. So I'm sorry, people who do certain things, they show signs of maybe not that thing, but they show signs of something very early on. Now, you might not show signs that you are a rapist, but from the looks of him and from the crime that he committed, he shows signs of something.
And
I'm so sure.
It wasn't from one sex act.
Right.
He had been having sex with that girl, and it really is a crying shame, but he has been arrested, and hopefully justice will be served. And also the family of the girl spoke out saying that they wanted the news and the nursing home to stop saying that she's in a vegetative state, because she's like more of severely intellectually disabled. When she was a child, she had like multiple seizures back to back. And they was like, she doesn't just lay there, but she doesn't have understanding of, her mind is not developed past a 5-year-old, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's terrible, but I am glad he was caught, and I really do hope justice will be served in that case.
And I hope they close that place down. And if they don't close it down, anybody else who is coming there for any kind of job, that they do a little bit more research on the person, background checking, and judge a book by its cover when it comes to that place. Exactly. So who else did some shit? Well, it was another mass shooting that happened. If you did not hear about it, because I mean, it came and went just like that. It happened.
Yes, I was about to say yes.
It
Really
happened on
did.
January 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
A 21-year-old walked into a SunTrust bank in Sebring, Florida.
Right.
Just throw the whole Florida away. But, so, you know, he walked into the bank and he ended up murdering 5 people at the bank.
Right.
And
but no reason.
None whatsoever. Everything that I've read on the situation, nothing has come out that I've read that he did it for a specific reason, that he had a motive behind it, or and when he walked into Charleston, South Carolina, he had a motive. You know, he went in there to do something in particular. This, all that I've read, I haven't read anything in regards to that. But I really brought this up for one specific reason. Mass shootings have become so commonplace that it happens, it might be a little blurb about it, and then it goes. Like, this was no big news story. It wasn't shown all over the TV. I didn't even really see it over social media like that much. You know, it's kind of like, oh, this happened at 10 o'clock, and then by 11 o'clock, we was on to the next thing. And it's just sad that we live in a time where things like this come and go, and the next one is happening like before you even blink your eye. It's sad to me.
It's ridiculous. And plus, they exploit the situations that they want to.
Of course.
You know, so they have another agenda now, so that's not important. And, you know, they just like, whatever. Like,
and another thing is that he was white, and point blank period, if he was anything else, they're talking about is building this wall. They're talking about all these terrorists that's coming in, and we keep negating the fact that it is domestic terrorists in this society, and they don't look like the agenda that you're pushing. And so you're not going to bring a notice to it. And it keeps happening. White males going and doing mass shootings. You know, the story comes out that they were mentally ill, or that they had this problem or that problem. No, call it what it is. It's terrorism. It's domestic terrorism. And because they are white, just like, I wasn't even going to bring this up, but I had to do a sidebar about this. I'm sorry, because it just speaks to this. Did you see when the kids at that Catholic school was taunting the Native American man, right?
Oh my gosh.
The story after it came out of the video of them taunting this man while he was, you know, sitting there playing his native drum, then they interviewed the boy afterwards.
Yes.
He's a damn get ready to be a serial killer. Boy ain't blinked his eye one time on a damn interview. Not one time. I watched it. No, he did not blink his damn eye. But it just goes to show you that white people, especially white males, will always get the benefit of the doubt. He was able to tell his side of the story. They flipped that story like he didn't do anything wrong.
And the whole city and school, the town is behind them.
Yeah.
Justifying what they did.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're with it. They are with it. But that's why I just brought that up as a sidebar, like I said, because, you know, here we are again with another white male committing a crime and nothing being done about it. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just crazy to me.
Speaking of crime,
for those people, I'm sorry.
Terrible.
Go ahead.
Speaking of crime, this should be a crime. The Secretary of Commerce, I don't know if you know him. His name is Wilbur Ross. I do not like talking about politics, but last week I talked about the shutdown because, you know, it's a very real thing, whatever. But Wilbur Ross said he was confused as to why thousands of federal workers are relying on food banks during the shutdown. And the word he used was, I don't know why they're flocking to the food banks. He says the 30 days of pay that some people will be out, there's no real reason. Let me say that again. He said there's no real reason why they shouldn't be able to get a loan against their pay. We've seen all the ads from the financial institutions offering it. That's what he said.
Wait, is that end quote?
That's end quote. That's what he said.
And this man who is the Secretary of Commerce, he is worth how much money?
$700 million.
For a person that's worth $700 million, they are disillusioned. They have no common sense when it comes to common problems. And so I've seen that story, but I didn't know how much he was worth when I saw it. But after I found out how much he was worth, I said, oh, okay, this makes sense, because you have no real thought process, empathy, or anything for the common person.
How are you serving the American people if you are so far removed from the American people? He said there's no real reason why you can't just go on to the bank
and get a loan.
So
I don't got to qualify for the loan. I just got to be a federal worker.
And
exactly. I don't have to pay the money back, because that's what we failed to
interest.
Right. I got to pay the money back. And it's just really, but how can you serve the country? You have no rule. Was it that you said you have no real what?
He has no connection to the American people. No.
Well, you have a person who is the president of the country who is the same exact way, which is the reason why he can have this furlough government shutdown on for so long, because he has no connection. Is he starving? Hell no. Is Wilbert starving? Hell no. So because of those things, they're going to say stuff like this or continue to do stuff like this because it doesn't affect them. It doesn't affect the people that they know. I didn't talk about the government shutdown last week, and I'll just say this little quick thing about it since we're talking about it. I don't feel sorry for the people who voted for Trump that's shut down, that's furloughed. I don't feel sorry for y'all. Trump is just like Bush in the sense of Bush was the best thing since sliced bread. They voted for him. They loved him. He was the best thing. When his ass got that daddy's war going back on, and he started sending them little white kids over to Afghanistan, and they was getting murdered, then Bush was the bottom of the damn barrel. Trump is the same way. The government was doing so good. We was prospering. You got a businessman in office. It was just going to be this great thing. The economy was doing well. Well, if the economy is doing so damn well, what you going to food bank for?
Exactly. And since you mentioned that,
who I'm speaking of the people who voted for him, not for all of the federal workers, because what people need to realize, and that just ain't Wilbur or Trump or Lump or Dump, it's anybody. Everybody in the society, damn near the largest majority of society, is living paycheck to paycheck. I put it to you out. They live in paycheck to paycheck, and they ain't one paycheck away from poverty, starvation, and homelessness.
That's right.
And what this has shown is that in 2008, when Obama came into office and we had that housing crisis, people was losing their houses left and right. We was on the verge of a depression. You had CEOs delivering pizzas and stuff like that. When all of that stuff was happening, and they was in line for food stamps, in line for, it's the same exact thing. And it's because people live paycheck to paycheck. If you're not getting paid, you're not paying your damn bills. And a damn bill collector don't want to hear, yo, I'm furloughed. I got to give you that back pay. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like this, stuff like the housing crisis or the like I said, the depression that was going to happen in 2008 when Obama came into office, it just shows you what people really are dealing with in society. And stuff like Wilbert said, it shows you how far removed everybody in that whole administration is removed from society. Real life society.
Well, I just want to say two quick things. Number one, I told you should have been here. Number two, so all of the news, the major news sources today, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, everybody is obsessed with Trump voters, people who voted for Trump. And I just want to read one blurb from one of the Trump voters. He says, 2 years ago, Jeff Dewart was fed up with politics. He wanted to shake up the status quo. He didn't mind sending a message to the establishment. And frankly, he liked the idea of a disruptive president. But the 49-year-old dumbass Navy reservist, I added the dumbass myself, has some second thoughts. And this is what he said. What the fuck were we thinking? First of all, not we,
You.
what were we thinking? And he is saying that he's talking about the wall and the shutdown. He said the man said he would be proud to shut down the government, but it's silly, it's destructive, adding that all he knows about 2020 is that he won't be voting for Trump. He says, I was certainly for the anti-status quo. I'll be more status quo next time. Yeah, you big dummy.
What's the man's name?
Jeff Dewar.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Finish your thought before I say something about Jeff.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. How people, when, people were mad at Barack Obama because they felt like, oh, he took the factory jobs away and stuff like that. We live in an age of technology, and those people who voted for Donald Trump thought that he was going to bring back open up them iron mills and steel mills and them factories and things like that. Industrialization is over as we know it. And now look at you.
Well, at the end of the day, all of that sounds wonderful, but Jeff Dewar was going against the black man. The establishment was black people. Trump wasn't nothing but a white answer to you being mad that a black man was in power for 8 years. That's all that was. Them mother suckers wasn't thinking about no damn it sounds good. It sounds good. It sounds real good to blame it on, oh, we was thinking about factory jobs. We was thinking about he was going to bring big businesses and we was trying to make America great again. No, you was trying to make America white again. And this is what happens when you wanted to make America white again. When we was on the verge of having a financial crisis, a black man brought your ass out of that. The financial crisis that a white man created, a black man brought you out of it. Then you wanted to vote for Trump, not because of coal mines. You wanted to vote for him because he was white. He was giving your white agenda, and you wanted to get away from the black agenda that you thought Barack Obama had. And that's just basically what it is. And now you see Jeff Dewar and all you people who voted for Trump, who's in lines at the food banks, and Wilbur, the Secretary of Commerce, is telling you you're dumb, go get a loan. Now you see what happens when you vote in the way that you vote because you want a white man. Not because you want jobs and not because you wanted a white man. And that's exactly what you got. A white man that's thinking about himself.
Exactly. And also, I don't claim to be an economist or anything like that, but I do know that countries earn money, like their gross domestic product. And so this shutdown, we're in the 34th or 35th day of this shutdown. So our first quarter GDP is shot. So the government is not working. People aren't getting paychecks, and the country is not making money.
But y'all wanted to vote for what did you want to do? The anti-establishment. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. When you backed up in them bills and you got to play catch up, because that's what's going to happen, sweetheart. Now we get ready to go into February. You got to pay another mortgage. Then you coming from off of Christmas. People backed up because they done went out and spent all their Christmas money because you're like, well, I'm going to get a check in January. Now you ain't got that. Now we going into February. Bill collectors want the back. And two, they long sharks. They want their money with interest. And they will take your shit away like a long shark or break your damn legs if you don't give it to them. But y'all continue to vote for the anti-establishment. What else we got? Who else did some shit? Because I could go on and on and on and on and on and on about this dumb shit.
Okay, well, I mean, let's calm down a little bit. On the 21st, the day we celebrated Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, Senator Kamala Harris made her announcement that she will be running for president in 2020. Now, President Kamala Harris is a Democrat out of California. And, I'm not getting into we should vote for her because she's black or whatever to hear say. A lot of people, she's not very well known outside of California. In California, she's very popular. Some people know her. But outside of California, she's not very popular at all. So I've been following her since she was elected. I've been following her on Twitter. So I just want to do briefly, who is she? Okay. So Kamala Harris I think her middle initial is D. Her name is Divi or Devi or something like that. Kamala D, like dog, Harris, is the first African American to represent California in the United States Senate. She was elected she took office January 3rd. She was born October 20th, 1964, in Oakland, California. She graduated from Howard University undergrad in 1986. She graduated from University of California's Hastings College of Law with a Juris Doctorate degree in 1989. Harris served as the Deputy District Attorney in Alameda County, California from 1990 to 1998. She was the managing attorney in the San Francisco District Attorney's Office. She was the chief of the Division on Children and Families, where she established California's first Bureau of Children's Justice. She was the first African American and first woman elected district attorney of San Francisco. She served from 2004 to 2011, and Attorney General of California from 2011 until she was elected in 2016. She was elected U.S. Senator in 2016. She took office in 2017. She's the first female of Jamaican descent and the first Black senator in California. She fights for middle-class families, children, education, environmental protection, seniors, and immigrant communities. She made the current U.S. Attorney General Sessions complain that her persistent questioning at his state confirmation hearings made him nervous. She also led the campaign against the confirmation of Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh immediately when his nomination was announced. Harris is the author of 2 books. Her first book, Smart on Crime, it was published in 2009, is considered a model for dealing with the problem of criminal justice and recidivism. And her other book, The Truths We Hold, An American Journey, is her memoir. Her father is Jamaican. He was Jamaican born, and he is an economics professor at Stanford University. Her mother is Indian. She was a prominent breast cancer researcher, and it said her name was Shyamala, and she came here from India to study, to go to college, and that's where she met her husband, Kamala's father. And she said when she moved here, she moved into a Black community because she was a woman of color, and that's the only place she was accepted. So it was the 1960s, and she got really involved with the civil rights movement. So it says after her death in 2009, an obituary in the San Francisco Chronicle said, despite her 5-foot stature, hers was a commanding presence characterized by a sharp wit, keen sense of humor, and endless depth of knowledge. She embodied an independent, confident, and curious spirit that led her to travel alone to the United States as a teen, forge a career as a brilliant breast cancer researcher, join the civil rights movement, introduce a generation of students of color to careers in science, and through it all, raise 2 remarkable young women by herself. Her passion for science was augmented by a fervent commitment to social justice, leading to a lifelong fight against injustice, racial discrimination, and intolerance. She instilled these values in her daughters, who in turn have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of justice and equality. And Kamala does say that even though her father was involved in her life, that much and most of who she is because of her mother.
Thank you for reading that stuff about her, because I didn't know much about her either. I mean, I, like you, have been following her on Twitter, and I know that she was very vocal when Brett Kavanaugh was being nominated into the Supreme Court. And you know what? I have to do my research on her to find out, what she brings to the table that I would be interested in. And I will say this. I don't think that you should vote for people just because they are something. Don't vote for her just because she's a woman. Don't vote for her just because she's Black. Don't vote for her because she's a Black woman. However, for the people out there that's like, now that she announced her presidency and they just keep pulling up all of this negative stuff about her. And then, they send out stuff like, oh, this is another lesser of two evil situation. No, it's not. This is not a lesser of two evil situation. If it's never been a time to vote for somebody just because, now's the time. Because your alternative is Trump. And at the end of the day, with Hillary, I could see people saying, oh, because you ain't really know what Donald Trump was going to bring about. But come on now. The proof is in the pudding. He's a stone cold nut, who does not care about you. He doesn't care about the person sitting next to him. He don't care about them damn kids he got. All he cares about is him, himself, and him. He don't care nothing about nobody else. He's done everything in the book that he could do to get impeached, but haven't gotten impeached yet. He should be under the jail. Your economy is not thriving. He's taking away your paychecks. What more do you want? He's shown you who he is. Believe him. If you never believe nobody else, believe him. So when you say that you're not going to vote for her because of, then that means, and you're not going to vote for Trump, then that means that you're not going to vote, which means that Trump will win. And so what's her name?
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. If there's nobody else that comes out,
she got my vote.
She has my vote just because she's not him. And it's no lesser of two evils. I don't care. I'm being very honest with you. I'm always going to vote. And she could not align with a damn thing that I want. She's not him.
She does. She does, because she's really into, I know a lot of people, Californians, they complain because, oh, she sent my uncle to jail. She sent my brother to jail. She sent my daddy to jail. First of all, they committed a crime, probably, and I'm not saying that our justice system is perfect. It's not perfect. There are innocent people in prison, but she had a job to do and she does her job, but she is really committed to equal justice and reducing recidivism. So people going back to jail, getting out and going back and getting out and going back, getting to the roots of the issue. So I know that's something that you are also really passionate about, Maya.
I am.
So so people, no one likes for their loved one to go away. No one likes that. But that is not a reason, that's not a sole reason not to get to know and see what her issues are. Because she's very pro young people. She's very pro minorities. She does not hide the fact that she is of Jamaican descent, Indian descent. She identifies with communities of color. She does all those things. So,
and she's not. Listen,
and she's not Donald Trump.
I'm with. What was the man's name? Jeff Doer. I'm with him. I'm against the establishment. I'm a man to the establishment. So I will be voting for anyone but him. But I am excited to see what she's going to bring to the table. It's a shame that as soon as I heard that she announced, my thought process was, they ain't gonna vote for no black woman. They didn't even vote for Hillary, and her ass has a damn, I think she was born into politics. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even vote for her. So even though she won the popular vote, she didn't win. And so and a majority women did not vote for her. So I can't see them not voting for, white women ain't vote for their white counterpart. I just can't see them voting for her. But I am excited to see what she brings to the table. Also very, I heard, it's rumblings that Cory Booker is also going to announce that he is running for presidency. Now, one thing's for certain and two things for sure. You could bet your bottom dollar. He got my vote already.
Exactly.
Cory got my vote, So
if Cory runs, I'm a back Cory.
Cory got my vote, and I ain't even thinking about it. And that's just what it is.
And it really is what it is. Cory is a homeboy. And he done saved the old lady out the burning building. Come on, Cory.
So what else
Cory be doing it up.
Cory, what else does Cory have to do? And not even that, when Cory was a government official in New Jersey, I followed him very closely, and he aligned with a lot of the things that was important to me. And so I know his proven track record in in New Jersey, and what he has brought to the Senate since he's been there. And so again, if he announces, he has my vote. But we'll, see if he announces, and then we'll give out some information about Cory Booker. But Camille, but we're excited to see what she brings to the table, and we'll see what the next couple of months gives us. I got one more thing.
All right.
I know you ain't really into pop culture, but you had to have heard about, because you on social media, whether you're on pop culture or not, you had to have heard what's going on between Future, the rapper, Ciara, and Russell Wilson.
Well, I know that Ciara and Future have a baby, and I know that Ciara is married to Russell Wilson, and they have a baby, right?
They do.
And I know that Russell Wilson was like, you don't know how to take care of a woman or something, or I know how to be a better father than you, or something like that. So I do know this story. I don't know any Future songs or anything.
Russell Wilson didn't really come out and say anything.
Oh, what in the beginning, in the very beginning, they did a family. Didn't they do like a family interview or something? Or maybe Ciara said it.
Ciara might have alluded, but Russell Wilson didn't say it, because Russell Wilson got too much class, and at the end of the day, Russell Wilson is like in an atmosphere of, who is Future? That's kind of like
exactly. That's what I said too.
His life. So Future, the rapper, and Ciara was once in a relationship. They were engaged to be married. He messed that up. I'm so sure. I don't know the facts, but he messed that up. And Ciara moved on. They had a baby, and then he moved on. She moved on with her life, and she married Russell Wilson. Well, recently, Future dropped his album, and he came out with some interviews. And in the interview, he spoke about their relationship. He was asked about their relationship, and he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it right in front of me, but he said that Russell Wilson wasn't a man. He does whatever Ciara tells him to do. He don't feel like he's a man at all, because he ain't come to him as a man, and he's around his child. Ciara never introduced Future and Russell to each other, and he just feels like it's corny that he would be around somebody else's child and not want to know the father. Here's what I have to say to that. And like I said, I'm paraphrasing.
Sit your dumb ass down.
A, sit your dumb ass down. B, if you was being a father to your child, you wouldn't have these issues.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it is just like a ninja who is not focused on the kids. They focused on the woman. You focused on their marriage. You're mad because you can't control the situation. You're mad because Ciara don't need you. Ciara went on ahead and she glowed up. But see, that's what men got to realize. 9 times out of, I'll give it 8 times out of 10. Women date up. Men date down. You know what I'm saying? You date down. You go from the college professor to the chick that's sitting at home all day doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's y'all. That's y'all.
You went past the shampoo, girl.
Well, listen.
Sitting home doing nothing. Okay.
Sitting at home doing nothing. And not even shampooing hair. Okay.
Right.
So y'all date down. Women, they tend to, if they can, date up. You look at people that got a little bit more than what he had, bringing a little bit more to the table, treating you a little bit better. We tend to try to do that. So you're mad that she moved on to something bigger and better. And at the end of the day, it should be about your child. You should be happy that she got your child around somebody who has taken on that child like they're his own, who treats the child with respect and love, and treats your child's mother with respect and love. But you so busy out here being upset that you ain't raising your kids, because he the same person who said, oh, my kids just got to understand that their father is a superstar, and I don't have as much time to spend with them like they probably would want. You also man that got 6 kids by 6 different women. You also the man who just had a baby last week and got one on the way. So you really don't have a lot of time in your life to be doing interviews on Ciara. You should be out here trying to book shows so that you can take care of the rest of those kids. You know what I'm saying? And be happy that Ciara got a man who stepped in to be a man, who knows his role as a man.
And take care of your son.
taking care of your baby.
Mm.
Because I see a lot more videos of Russell Wilson and Lil Future than I do of Future and Future. But then, too, I don't see videos with Future and his damn kids, period, because you have to be a superstar somewhere. But Sierra, bravo to you that you stepped up and you was a woman and got you a man to take care of you and your children. And that's all I got to say about that. We hope that you enjoyed the show. Bibbi said it in the beginning. Make sure that you listen to us wherever you can listen to your favorite podcast. We are on, where you say we was on again? iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor,
YouTube.
Mm-hmm. So check us out. Remember, we'll be here each and every Monday for our all new episode. Be sure to follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at We Did That Shit. Remember, you can follow me on my personal Twitter. It's MyMy13. That's MYMY13.
And I'm at the Biamina. That's BIBBIAMINA.
Yeah. So we'll be here same time next week.
Remember, be great this week. Do that shit. I love you, Maya.
Love you too.